Welcome back to Literary Musings. Today, we are delving into one of John Donne's most famous works, Holy Sonnet 10, also known as Death, Be Not Proud. In this sonnet, Donne challenges the very nature of death, presenting it as powerless and insignificant. But before we get into the poem, let's first learn a bit about John Donne himself. Introduction to John Donne. John Donne was an English poet, scholar, and cleric of the Church of England, born in 1572. He is considered one of the leading figures of metaphysical poetry, known for his vivid imagery, philosophical concepts, and use of complex metaphors or conceits. Donne's life experiences deeply shaped his work. His early poetry often focused on themes of love, sensuality, and physical attraction. However, after becoming a cleric later in life, his later works, including the Holy Sonnets, reflect his spiritual concerns, particularly about mortality, redemption, and the divine. Death, Be Not Proud was written in 1609 but first published posthumously in 1633 as part of his Holy Sonnets collection. In this sonnet, Donne presents death as powerless, reducing it to nothing more than a short sleep before an eternal afterlife. Now, let's take a closer look at the poem itself. Poem analysis. Holy Sonnet 10, aka Death, Be Not Proud revolves around death, which is portrayed as powerless, merely a short sleep between life on earth and an everlasting afterlife. The poem delivers a powerful message that death should not be feared. Donne's speaker directly addresses death, commanding it not to take pride in itself. He dismisses the common perception that death is frightening or intimidating. The speaker confidently declares that death is neither of those things, pointing out that people don't really die when death comes for them, nor will he truly die when his own time comes. In fact, he pities death. Next, the speaker draws a comparison between death and rest, or sleep, stating that rest and sleep are simply images of death. He even goes further, saying death is more delightful than sleeping and resting. The best people, he notes, go with death. Donne reframes death as a temporary state, merely the resting of the body while the soul begins its journey in the afterlife. The speaker continues by asserting that death is not in control, it is fate, chance, kings, and desperate men who hold sway over death. He also associates death with negative forces like war, poison, and sickness. Even more, the speaker claims that drugs and magic spells allow the body to rest more effectively than death itself. With all this in mind, how can death possibly be proud? Finally, Donne brings his argument home by stating that death is merely a brief period of sleep between life on earth and eternal life, where death will no longer exist. Ultimately, it is death, or rather, the fearful idea of death, that will be vanquished. Conclusion. John Donne's Death, Be Not Proud offers a bold reimagining of death, stripping it of its traditional power and fear. Through his Christian faith, Donne asserts that death is not an end but a passageway to eternal life, rendering it powerless. It's an extraordinary reminder of how the metaphysical poets like Donne used wit and intellect to challenge even the darkest forces in life. Thanks for watching this literary analysis. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Literary Musings for more deep dives into classic literature. See you next time.